Okay guys, time for another brew day. This is another experiment from me. This is going to be a bit weird again, but right now I have a well, I don't know, it might be close to a half a pound of flake maize in my kettle right now. I am doing a all extract sour, except I have that flake maize because I want a nice starchy character for the yeast. So I have my extract. It's going to be 2 pounds of the Weizen dried malt extract. Got some yeast nutrient there, diammonium sulfate. We got a pound of, which I'm going to add here shortly, of the Pilsen Light, and then half an ounce of my aged lambic hops, the blend of Willamette and Cascade that's been aged like 4 years now. So just another experiment. Let's see, coming over here, I'm drinking on Coronado's stout. We're going to use this yeast. Let's get some light here. Anyway, this is the Belgian sour mix from White Labs. So this has got all the bugs in there, so I'm just going to pitch that in and we'll see what it does. It's just going to be a 3-gallon batch. Just like I said, another experiment. Just I'm going to try, you know, kitchen top, all extract. Should be pretty easy, which is what I want, because I'm actually going to brew up a full-on double IPA tomorrow. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, got the boil going, hops are in there. 2 hours on my timer now, so as it fogs up, give this a little stir here. Yeah, nothing to this beer, just add in some extract. I mean, you don't have to do, or I don't know if it was bad that I did the flaked maize, but you know, I want starches in there. That's what the bacteria, you know, will turn into sourness, you know, the most. So that's why I wanted the flake maize in there, just to give it some starchiness, because that stuff, you know, it was just sitting there in warm water. There's no grain to convert any of the sugars in it. So we'll see how this turns out. Got my 3-gallon PET carboy over here. I don't know if there'll be enough light, but I used the first one with my mead, and I figured let's try it with this one. Like I said, I'm still experimenting with stuff. We'll see if this works. You know, typically you want to use glass, but this is going to be dedicated. I don't know how I'm going to mark it right now, but I'm going to have to mark this. This is going to be dedicated, you know, critter, bug, you know, Brett, wild ale, whatever, carboy, since it is plastic. So I won't ever use this for a normal beer ever again. But this is going to be a dedicated carboy for that. So next thing is just wait for this boil to end and cool down and get it transferred over to here and pitch the yeast. Alright, just about to wrap up this brew day. I don't want to use my wort chiller, and what I'm going to do is use my new boil kettle. You can use that as an ice bath and put this one inside that so to cool it down. And I have my this is a 3-gallon PET carboy, so I have that sanitizing right there. And yeah, I'm just gonna wait till this cools down a bit more. Normally I use groundwater to cool down the wort before I do an ice bath, so I'm just gonna let that kind of sit. It's still steaming away, and I'll get that cooling down in there in a bit. So here's like my mess, as you can see on my countertop. All that stuff right here on this towel needs to be sanitized. I have a starter for tomorrow's beer I just made on top of this. So I was using some old yeast that was in here. It's been in my fridge for a while, so I figured, well, I better make a starter out of it, or just to make sure it's still viable. Okay, there's one of my projects there. I'll cover that in a different video, but you probably saw that one. I'll get to a reason why this is out right now. But yeah, so this is the mess. Oh yeah, I broke my other hydrometer, so I got this new one. Come on, focus. It actually has a built-in thermometer in it, so we'll see how that works. Kind of eliminates the having to stick in your thermometer to figure out temperature of your wort or your beer or whatever you're trying to measure. So yeah, this is the disaster area. This is my kitchen on a brew day, and it'll be like this tomorrow as well. So it's gonna wrap it up. You don't need to see me. I'm just gonna put the wort into the carboy, pitch the yeast, in the vial, which has been sitting out here a while now, and yeah, get that pitched, and hopefully it takes off. I ended up just using the regular Y yeast nutrient, not that diammonium, or whatever the hell I was using, the diammonium phosphate, which they recommend for meads and wines, so I figure I'll just use the Y yeast stuff, which I usually use for beer. Alright, it's going to wrap it up. Cheers.